You see? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Nerd Chronicles. Alright? This is your host, Proud Lane, certified beta male Simonjana, whatever there is in no game, the socially awkward nerd. Christian Paul is up in the building. Alright? So what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is like another example of respect is currency. And unfortunately, image is mainly everything. Reputation is everything, as the late great Kevin Samuels would say. You know, we have some unfortunate breaking news that took place around early Monday morning around in Austin, Texas, where we see a lethal college basketball head coach, okay, who took the Texas Tech Raiders to the Final Four and actually was national championship runner-ups in 2019 NCAA March Madness, right? Against Virginia, in which they lost, right? That was a year prior to, the 2020 March Madness cancellation. Coach Chris Beard, right? He was arrested on domestic violence charge, sexual assault charge, and that prompted the Texas Longhorns to suspend him indefinitely. Right, so if you see in this article, Texas suspends Coach Chris Beard after arrest on assault charge. I'm not gonna actually read this thing line by line, but you guys already know where I'm going with this. Texas men's basketball coach Chris Beard basically was trying to elevate his alma mater down to the same exact level as national championship contenders. Was arrested early Monday on a family violence charge after a woman who was his fiancée told police he strangled and bit her. Side note, he recently divorced his wife around a couple years ago, and they have his new fiancée literally coming up on the helm, right? So, Longhorn suspended Beard indefinitely out pay. Basically, Rodney Terry, the associate head coach, served as the acting head coach for the number 7 Longhorns in the nation, in which they needed overtime to beat Rice University on Monday night, 87-81. Can't fully imagine the trauma and all the unnecessary stress that the coaches and the players really had to go through, as well as some of the students, right? Because that coach literally represented that whole Austin community right there. Very small town, capital Texas. Whole ordeal. And as we scroll down, right, the woman told us police that she is his fiancée and they've been in a relationship for 6 years, even though Chris Beard actually recently divorced his wife as early as a few years ago, right? She said there had been an argument during which he broke his glasses just before he just snapped on me, became super violent. Corey affidavit. Woman told police he choked me, bit me, bruises all over my leg, throwing me around and going bonkers. Choking her from behind with the arm around her neck, chokehold, and she couldn't breathe for about 5 seconds. Had the bite mark, basically bit her, allegedly, on the right arm and the abrasion to her right temple, along other visible injuries, according to the fiancé. When questioned by Austin police, Beard said he had audio recordings of the incident that would show he was just not the primary aggressor, yet he refused to share them. I think it's a bad move. I don't know why you wouldn't even share in front of the police. If you know he had evidence there, gotta try and speak to your lawyer on this, and they already had the whole deal with Coach Beard getting detained and all this other stuff, and they said they gotta stay 200 yards away from the residence where police were called at the time, where they're actually undergoing trial. And this is some crazy, what, right? And we already know about the university situation when it comes to the Texas Longhorns, right? And Coach Terry said he has not talked with Beard after release from jail Monday. And he hasn't read the police every day that detailed the allegations against the now suspended coach, right? And it's good that he's really trying to focus on his team literally at the moment. So we already know about Coach Beard's history, right? And his contract includes a provision in which it pays him more than $5 million a year over 7 years. He can be fired for cause for conduct that the University of Texas, UT Austin, deems, in their opinion, alright, deems on their opinion reflecting poorly on the coach on how they feel, program, school, or university system, which includes being charged with a felony depending on how they feel at that moment. and how it's going to impact their image moving forward, right? And the Board of Regents, the Board of Trustees Chairman Kevin L. Tribe never even said a thing, and all this stuff is basically irrelevant at that point. Like, it's like a player that actually came by, had this issue. I'm not even concerned on the whole ordeal. We go further up to our most recent article that actually was posted on ESPN, right? Saying that Coach Beard's legal process may unfold slowly. Okay? So bear with me as I try to scroll up here. It's going to take a little while. So, legal process for the state of Texas, for Coach Chris Beard in the wake of arrest early Monday morning on a felony family violence charge, domestic violence, after the whole ordeal that actually went down. And they have may take about a year and a half, could be more, to reach a conclusion. It's probably going to be a while. And Coach Beard may be suspended for a while. He could be suspended for the rest of this season at least. Right? And the domestic violence charge they have here, right? Basically like a third-degree felony. It's like a charge on a domestic violence charge, right, in which the brief was impeded. Basically, it's like a former term for domestic violence for short, sexual assault for short. Third-degree felony, punishable about up to 10 years in prison. About 2 to 10 years, he could get the max if they find him guilty. It's possible they could plea down, right? So, if we look at the legal proceedings that's there, involve Travis Kennedy, DA's office, which will evaluate the case and work with Austin police to investigate the allegations against Beard. According to sources, where the DA's office may move very slow as it goes about the painstaking work conducting that investigation. According to Texas state law, the DA's office will then present its case to the grand jury once the investigation is completed. The jury could then eventually decide to indict Beard on the current charge against him, add charges or reduce charges, or decide together against proceeding with the case. Probably drop them all together. Now, one locatory has been involved in multiple domestic violence cases in Austin said Beard's case might not be tried for as long as a year and a half if it goes to trial. Plea agreements can also happen in these situations, he said, so it's possible the plea down could come. Juicy, right? As revealed in the police affidavit, first supported by the Austin American Statesman, the woman said she called police early Monday morning because I just did not feel safe, quote, quote, after Coach Beard allegedly attacked his fiancée. And you already know the whole story. And they've been arguing about relationship issues and all that based on what's been reading. They have this whole ordeal here. And we already know about, Beard's situation. It is insane. Leg getting sprained and all that stuff. Right, this is insane. Insane. Now here comes SAFE, right? They have the SAFE Alliance basically stating that while the SAFE Alliance has no first-hand knowledge of the very serious allegations against Mr. Beard, we know too well the frequency of intimate partner violence, and they had the statement, and they have served the survivors of child abuse, sexual assault, and exploitation, and domestic violence. They continue saying strangulation party allegation here is increasingly common and especially dangerous. And unfortunately, while intimate partner violence occurs in all types of circumstances, it is a recurring theme in men's high school, college, and professional sports. But this conversation should be first and foremost around the health and safety of the survivor. Statistically, only 2% of survivors make false allegations, based on the statistics that they found. Yet the most common response is to disbelieve the victim or fail to take action. Now, I'm not trying to discredit the SAFE Alliance whatsoever, but I would like to ask, where did they get the sources from on statistics saying 2% actually make false allegations? I would like to know, where did they get those statistics from, and how big is the sample pool? That would be the second question I would like to ask. That's really the most important thing that I would like to know. Not to try to discredit them at all whatsoever. We're not denying anything that the victim has gone through whatsoever. We want to try and make sure everything is thoroughly valid as best as possible. Now, let's get to the big ordeal. So what's the moral story, ladies and gentlemen? Man, it's a shame I gotta be talking about relationships in this whole ordeal, man. My goodness. Never, ever, ever, ever put yourself in a vulnerable position where you're going to be at the mercy of the legal system and at the mercy of that school, at the mercy of your company. Okay? And it's not just when it comes with college, and not just when it comes with school. You know, even when you actually call it like working for a university or whatnot, when you're dealing with like a professional business. Okay? Never, ever, ever, ever put yourself in a vulnerable position. Alright? You gotta make sure you take preventative measures to make sure stuff like this does not happen again. Now, from what I've been hearing on the reports, they're saying the fiance basically was arguing with Coach Beard, right? You know, according to the fiance here, you know, they had a big argument. I don't know what the argument is. I don't know what really caused the argument. They have been having issues over the past week, right? We don't know like what really caused behind the scenes, but what triggered Coach Beard was due to the fact that, you know, the fiance basically broke Coach Beard's glasses. Okay? Even though they try to walk in the room saying she's going to offer to pay him back, you know, that's a big, big no-no. Red flag number 1. Right. Now, this is going to be for Coach Beard, right? Red flag number 2. Why don't you have the strength to literally just walk away? You know? Why can you literally just like dead the whole situation, okay, before it even reaches that point? If you know you had some, if you know you had concerns, try to talk to him in civil manner. Why you gotta try and let your emotions get to the best of you? I understand we all could get emotional. I fully get it. And like men, we tend to lead with logic and all stuff, and women tend to lead with emotion. I get it. They can act literally gung ho and tend to act like children at times. I can fully understand it. But why don't you have the strength to just walk away and just end it right there? You know what I mean? Go see other women. You know, give me your stature. Coach, you already do like high stature. And I'm just trying to use Coach as an example right here, because this dude is literally in rare air. $5 million a year, right? Has the whole community on his back. Leading the college team, trying to like lead the college team down to the promised land, to the national championship, to the Final Four, right? Final Four, okay? Why don't you have the strength to go walk away and say, you know what, I'm done. You can't be here with me anymore. You know, it's time we split the whole deal. You get your own place. You speak to other women up in the Austin area. Actually go to try to talk with them. You know, make sure everything's literally straight. You know, make sure they thoroughly know your kids. Make sure they're patient, because a lot of women would love to have you. A lot of them. You know, a lot of them definitely would. But why try to risk that whole ordeal, right, into some argument and not even try to keep your cool and just say, accept the same, say, you know what, I can't have it. If you feel disrespected by your partner, if you feel disrespected by your fiance, right, in any fast or any ordeal, then he starts nagging and she becomes arrogant, whatever it is, and I don't know who wears the pants. That's not my business. I'm not going to discuss who should do it and who should not do it. That's not my place. When it comes to stuff like this, why don't you have the strength to walk away? Right? And on the flip side, I really truly feel for that woman. And if the allegations are literally proven to be true, if they're proven to be true, whether it's like a guilty plea, whether it's an actual found guilty plea, you know, if it's found not guilty, shame on her. She's like the biggest scum of the earth. Okay? If Coach Beard is not guilty. If he's found not guilty years from now, right? Or on a year or two from now, we don't know. But if Coach Beard pleads down, or if Coach Beard pleads guilty, shame on him, right? You can't defend this behavior. You really can't, right? And if it's proven to be true, that woman is clearly the victim, right? The fiance we know is clearly the victim in all of this. It's very unfortunate she had to be enduring some stuff like this, and she does not deserve to be treated in this manner at all, if that's proven to be true, right? Because again, it's allegations. We don't fully know the whole story. The story's going to actually eventually definitely come into light in the months to years to come, right? But if you know you're dealing with arguments, right? Like relationships and everything needs to be very simplistic. You know, you have to try and get a feel for the whole deal. I know it's not fully black and white, but at the very least, just have a foundation, right? Have some respect for one another. Okay, respect one another. Treat people like basically fairly on how they want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? Basically with the same level of respect as they demand. okay, and like what the respect is assigned to them, treat him that way, okay? If you know your relationship is actually going to the point where you're going to be literally arguing all the time and acting a fool and all these things, why not just have the strength to leave? Now, again, there's a lot of speculation there. I can't really fully thoroughly go in the situation. Again, it's unfortunate. If it's true, it's unfortunate what the fiance literally had to go through in that matter, because it's very serious. It's a very, very serious ordeal. Okay? But why don't either one of y'all have the strength to literally just walk away? Okay? Or try to come by and discuss things when cooler heads prevail instead of going with some BS arguments. We don't know what these arguments are about. We don't know like college arguments you literally have in the front of all of this. And y'all fiance, y'all about to get married soon. Why deal with these arguments in the first place? And why not end these engagements right there to save both the time so that both your careers be intact? You know what I mean? You don't have to be worrying about violence, okay? You don't have to be worrying about dealing with criminal charges and all that stuff. Jobs and careers be still intact, and no one will have to be worried about a dang thing. Alright? That's all I'm going to go far. Right? I'm talking about in the way of prevention. Not by the way of the actual case itself, whether it's true or it's false. I really don't know. It's allegations. But this is really for everyone for like a learning point. To make sure you do not put yourself in a vulnerable position. Okay? Please be mature about certain situations like this. If it comes to the point where it gets childish, when you know you're going to reach a childish situation, just go. Right? My uncle told me control your anger. You shouldn't let your anger get to the best of you. Okay, you gotta be very smart. You gotta be very observant, like what really goes on when it comes to attention, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't really about winning the battle. It's about winning the war. Okay, you can let someone literally talk and have their piece. And I suggest what Coach Beard should have done is just let the fiance yap all over the place and yell alcohol, fool, and all these things. And if she did break the glasses, just don't even worry too much about it and just let it go. Okay, just walk away. As a matter of fact, actually, she does that. What you should have done is literally just escort her out of the premises and just break up her right then and there, because this is ultimate disrespect. Alright? That's what he should have done. Why would you really go out there and break someone else's stuff that's not yours? Trying to actually go in someone else's privacy and someone else's space. Okay? Just walk away. Be done. Alright? That's all you need to do. Okay? If I'm in a dating situation and I'm not comfortable with some ordeals, or like someone that's really trying to deal with like some sort of conflict or non-compliance, and I don't want to dictate things and some nagging, I'm not going to bother doing too much. I'll just let it be. Just ghost them. Alright? Because if I stay, imagine what's going to be like literally months, years from now. Probably go like way worse than you expect. You know? So, with that, again, please be very smart on what you do literally outside your job, outside your business. Image and reputation is literally everything on the line. Protect yourself at all costs, okay? Character is also everything. Character is literally the sealer when it comes to all that. Alright? So, now everything's really all being said here. Christian Paul from the Nerd Chronicles is signing out. Shout out to ESPN for this article, okay? Alright, y'all got the link literally down there and all that other stuff. Alright? Deuces!